This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com.
Previously on TV Tuners.
Take this, my love, my anger, and all of my sorrow.
Rest in peace, Donald Trump.
Yeah, you're goddamn right I love NSYNC.
Connie is from Australia. They're the boomeranger.
Stare's black-facing days are coming to an end.
But I blackface every day. Yes,
the plant is secured in my trunk.
We recovered 300 gallons of root beer from the tanker truck.
And now, TV Tuners continues.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tunes. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive on the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and, guy's mom, Stairmaster.
Oh. Hey, I have some weed. Would you like to see?
Yeah, sure.
Everyone applauds.
Yeah, and with us as always is our other co-host and audience member, Kyorain.
Yeah, ooh, yeah.
And with us,
I'm in the back.
And with us is our guest, Eric Andre.
That's
Connie.
right.
Oh, yeah, hi, yeah. Oh, hold on a second.
What is this?
I just gotta, hang
Whoa,
on.
that's very unprofessional.
I gotta take this.
Yeah.
Hi there. Michael J. Hi, Michael J. Fox. Yes,
Whoa.
This is Connie.
What?
Like the guy from Back to the Future?
Yes.
And Family Ties?
Yeah, I'm on the line. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we got your pitch, and,
Is he
Pitch.
talking on the phone
you know,
or us?
we're going to, we're gonna go ahead and approve it. You know, the miniseries,
What?
the Back to the Future miniseries. Yes, confirmed.
What?
We're gonna do
What?
that.
It's weird that he's talking to
Okay,
Michael
yeah.
J. Fox and not Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, yeah, you wanna hang out later?
Yeah, who's
hanging out with Michael J.
Oh,
Fox?
yeah,
I know a place. We can go get drinks.
Wait, does he want to hang out with Michael J. Fox or us?
Okay,
Wait,
all
do
right,
they
thank
wanna-
you.
Wait, is Michael
Thank
J.
you
Fox
so
still
much.
around?
Yeah.
What's Connie been up to the past couple of months? I'm
Yeah.
confused.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you take care too. Okay, bye-bye. All right, yeah, sorry, that was just a little business call. Yeah. Oh, right, we're doing a podcast. Hello, I'm Connie.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah, what was all that?
Oh, you know, I just I've been really busy lately. I got this new gig, and I've got a lot of moving and shaking to do, and you know,
A
talking
Ghost in the Shell standalone complex second gig?
yeah, a third gig, in fact.
Oh, wow.
Things are going pretty well for me right now. So
It's a practical gig
Anyway.
economy.
yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
no.
Okay, I was going to ask about this, and I'm not sure if any of you guys noticed, but
Yes.
Connie is currently wearing a business suit.
Which
I
they
thought-
have never worn prior in any prior recordings that we've done.
Yes.
Oh.
Have you joined the Yakuza?
Oh no, nothing that small time. Yeah, I actually okay. So this is a big deal actually, and I have to thank you because you gave me the inspiration for this because we got to talk about this company. But I actually hold on a second, my Ray-Bans are fogging up because the mask and all that we got to wear.
Yeah, that's very strange since we do record these remotely due to the coronavirus.
Yeah, you're
sorry,
wearing a
like,
mask.
I'm still wearing a mask.
It's a license deal. I gotta wear these sunglasses at all times, and you know how they fog up. But I did get a Quibi licensing advertising deal, so I'm kind of their agent, their talent scout, if you will. I'm setting up the next bunch of their shows. It's all going pretty good.
You're an agent working for Quibi, our most cherished of streaming services.
You're headhunting people?
Oh, yeah, actually.
So you're a Quibite.
You could say that.
Could you give us a hot scoop on any promising developments at Quibi?
Okay. Here, I got one for you. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I got
Wow, is this gonna just keep happening?
Okay. Hello, Antonio Andy Bandy. How you doing?
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio
Is he even
from
acting
Interview
anymore?
with a Vampire?
Yes. Okay.
Puss in Boots?
I've got this idea for you, and okay. To be fair, we can't pay you for this one, but given that it's on Quibi, like the exposure is going to be huge for you.
They're trying to get to get Antonio Banderas to work on exposure.
Yeah. So here we go.
Gamble.
Finally, a sequel to a sequel follow-up miniseries. I'm thinking maybe 10 minutes per episode, around there. Maybe a little bit less.
A sequel to what?
A sequel to Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Oh,
So
wow.
follow up to that,
Does that format work for that show?
We can call it Desperado 3, whatever you want. Just
really
like I
hoping it was
said,
a Zorro return.
we can't pay you, but it's on Quibi. Like that's the biggest get for you, I think, that you could probably get. Okay, you'll think about it. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
So are these people aware of what Quibi is and?
Well, yeah, it's
Well, of course, yeah, it's Quibi. I mean, who wouldn't be at this point? They are doing numbers since I got involved.
Now,
Actually, I don't know if you
have you pitched that tagline to them?
What are these numbers? Could you share with us?
Absolutely not. It's very confidential. I do have a license to kill.
Oh, they give those out
stuff
for
that
Quibi executives?
For headhunting?
Well, when a company is that successful, they kind of supersede, regulations and law and things like that. So Quibi's.
Are you allowed to tell us this?
Oh yeah, it's for your own safety. So just kind of the threat that I pose as I protect company secrets. Like it's only fair that you're aware of that.
All right, well, okay. Oh, I mean, I do kind of want to probe a little more, so I want to know, how do you do your killings? Because if it's going to be painful, then maybe
do you do close up or from far away?
I do a little bit of both, but the important thing is that I kind of try to make them as low effort as possible because I'm actually always watching Quibi on my Google Glass.
Oh, Quibi would be good for that line of business.
So that's why you need the Ray-Bans.
Oh yeah, I got Ray-Bans with the Google Glass installed.
Wow, they still make those, huh?
It's weird. They actually stopped making them for a long time, but people, since Quibi is doing so good, they wanted a new platform for it, and I got in touch with Google and encouraged them to start production on those back up exclusively as a Quibi peripheral.
Wow.
Wow, and since there's sunglasses, you can watch Quibi while driving, and the police won't know.
I do, actually, all the time.
Wow.
Interesting.
The police pull you over and they don't know you're watching one of the multiple fantastic shows on Quibi.
Like The Great Escape.
Now, to be fair... go ahead.
Connie, I've been very closely monitoring your attire. I've got in the business suit, the tie.
Yes, I noticed that the tie has a little clip that has the letter Q on it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for Quibi.
Not for any anon sort of reasons.
Okay, so the thing is that the Q is actually so important to our branding that we actually paid off Mr. QAnon.
Oh, wow.
So we could have exclusive rights to it. So thankfully you don't have to worry about that. They're switching to another letter. It's up in the air which one they're going to use, but the Q is just a Quibi thing now.
I think it's going to be C.
Oh, I just assumed W because it's the next one on the keyboard.
I think W is also a very appealing letter. But Connie, I want to draw attention to your watch there. Is that a smartwatch?
It is a smartwatch. It only has one app on it.
The time only says Quibi on it.
Well, because that's kind of our new marketing push that we're doing, is that it's all the time is Quibi time.
Oh, okay.
It's Quibi time.
So what does the app do on the smartwatch?
It tells you to watch Quibi on your Google Glass. Now, originally, you used to be able to watch Quibi on your phone, but then we decided that not having a 1-to-1 aspect ratio was making all the shows worse, so we moved it to Watches. And then we realized that we could actually use Watches to just remind people to watch it on their Google Glass, which actually gives the quick bite viewing experience that everyone wants so much.
Guys, I went over to whattimeisitRightNow.com, and it just says Quibi.
Oh, dear.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I was going to say we bought them, but that isn't technically true. They didn't want to sell, so I may have had to do some things, but yeah, that's ours now too.
Wow, it sounds like Quibi has got a massive influx of money and resources.
Yeah, since the last time we discussed Quibi.
Oh yeah, well, you see all those articles that were talking about how Quibi was having so many troubles. Those were mostly fake news, and also you saw that we explained that it was because of the pandemic keeping everyone inside, so they didn't want to watch things on quick bites.
Yeah, but now the pandemic is over.
Exactly. You are so on top of this. I might actually be able to offer you a job.
God. I was worried you're gonna have to kill me instead.
Wait, you're gonna hire Stair?
You're gonna ruin the podcast by hiring away one of our co-hosts?
Yes.
Oh no, Stair will stay on this pod, but he'll just be obligated. Yeah, he'll just be obligated to continue in my place to sing the praises of it's Quibi time.
Hey folks, do you love going out and about but watching television, and you want to reconcile those two conflicting beliefs? Well, I've got the service for you.
Oh.
Apple ITV, whatever, presents Quibi.
Okay. Okay, you saved it. It's all right.
Yeah, well,
all right. So,
as much as I would like to continue talking about Quibi, we do have a show to run here. So, if you like what you're hearing so far, consider subscribing. We have.
Oh shit!
We're available on all of the podcatchers of your choice: Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and more. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and while you're at it, why not give us 5 stars? Maybe a review?
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe.
I'd like that. Also, we're on Twitter, if that's a thing you're into. You can find us at TV Tuners, or use the hashtag TV Tuners. We'll give a glance at what you're saying. And, yeah, if you got any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kyoran?
I think it's like TV Tuners Podcast at Quibi.com.
You notice that I bought the email server. You're all doing so well on cooperating with the with our new licensing agreements so well.
Wait a minute. I thought we were hosted on Google Mail. How did this happen?
Okay, well, we actually have, and I was able to arrange this in exclusive partnership with Google, where actually, if you have a Gmail, that now redirects to your new Quibi account. So on your Google Glass, you can check your Gmail Quibi emails, and you can also, at the same time, watch Quibi original 10-minute entertainment.
Oh, can you?
Well, I don't know about Stair and Swanson,
programs?
but we don't have Google Glasses. What do we do?
Oh, don't you will soon. They're on their way.
Oh, okay, awesome. And are they Ray-Bans like yours, or just like the regular Scouter?
Okay, they are not going to be Ray-Bans yet, because you need to actually get to the level 4 commitment.
Oh, I also have a
Quibi,
question based on what... Is it true that Quibi is also working on making Scouters?
Okay, Quibi is making Scouters. They will check power levels for you. They will help you find the Dragon Balls.
Do they go over 9,000?
They don't go over 9,000 yet. That's going to be in future models.
To be fair, how many people on the planet actually have a power level of over 100, do you think?
Every Quibi user, to be honest.
Whoa!
Yeah, like most Quibi users, I believe are in the low 200s in power level. But I think that there's a lot of... you may not know this, but there's a lot of people in the meat industry who absorb the souls of all the animals they slaughter.
Whoa!
And
What?
they've got the power levels in the mid 5,000s.
Oh my god!
It gets up there. That's why you want to get these Scouters as soon as you can.
They're all stronger than Nappa? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, Mr. Sanderson from Sanderson Farms has 6,000 power level.
Oh, wow. Huh. What about Bernie Sanders? What's his power level at?
7.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, well, it's time for the Tweet of the Week segment.
All right, this tweet of the week comes from Dr. Ian Carmel, attorney at law. And I guess I'll have one of you read this.
Okay, post it.
Because
I would love to.
This is a very dramatic tweet.
Okay, Dr. Ian Carmel, attorney at law, says...
At Ian Carmel.
I miss... At Ian Carmel. Thank you so much. I miss the old days when a Karen was just the woman who flushed all our cocaine down the toilet, Karen. Why did you do that, Karen? That was worth $60,000. That was all the money we had, Karen. Why did you do that? Why? Oh my god, oh my god.
Wow, this tweet has pathos.
This tweet has intense energy.
Is that the name of the lady in Goodfellas?
Yes, that is the reference.
Okay. I don't think most people would remember the name of the lady from Goodfellas.
Because it's a Goodfellas reference, I am considering a tune-in on this.
Yes. Our favorite anime, Goodfellas.
That's right. It's up there with Evangelion.
Our favorite OVA from 1990.
So
I look
here's
like
the
an
deal.
Eva to you? I look like some sort of Eva? Huh? I look like some sort of Eva to you?
Yeah.
I would tune in on this, but I'm contractually obligated to not recommend shows that aren't available on the Quibi platform. So if this is a Goodfellas reference, I haven't seen it, and I can't endorse it except I've got an announcement for you.
Okay.
Oh.
Goodfellas is actually being it's a lower budget thing for us, but we are actually going to be recutting it for the Quibi platform.
That's like all those people
into 10-minute quick bites.
Wow, that's like all those people who watch The Irishman as a mini series. Except this is gonna be like 50 episodes.
Yeah, now Goodfellas is over 2 hours long.
Yes.
And so you don't foresee any big problems with that?
Oh, no, not at all. In fact, one of my favorite things about Quibi is that when you watch something on Quibi, you don't have to worry about pacing anymore. Because when you know that everything is just arbitrarily broken into 10-minute segments, you know it's going to be bad. Oh. So it allows you to just enjoy the show freely without having to be critical of where episodes are cut.
Oh.
Anyway, this is a tune-in on this tweet.
I'm gonna give it a tune out.
Is it because Karen's a swear
for the sheer reason?
Right?
No, but I am not really very amused by the Karen meme. Really.
Oh, Kiera respects women too much.
I mean, there is a trend of misogyny that seems to be going on with the Karen meme at current.
Also, we were doing the Karen meme before it was cool. Check our episode of Dead to Me.
I also didn't get the ref. I never watched Goodfellas.
I think flushing the coke down the toilet is a more universal thing than Goodfellas.
Now,
is it? It's a direct reference.
I mean, flushing drugs down the toilet is a thing people do all the time when the police come.
But did they learn it from Goodfellas?
Maybe.
But yeah, it was slightly more amusing to me when I thought they just made this up. And now that I know it's a reference, it kind of soured it for me.
Oh.
So it's just I didn't get the reference. So that's a tune out on this tweet for me.
And Connie,
sorry,
you said it was a tune out, but then you announced it's a Goodfellas Quibi show. So
yeah, it became a tune in at that point. Also, I'll be honest, I'm not too on top of this particular project, and I may have gotten Goodfellas and The Sopranos mixed up.
A 10-minute version of The Sopranos.
You guys are bringing Polly Walnuts back.
But it's okay because when you're watching as much Quibi as I do, you don't actually have that much time to absorb or remember what shows before it were like, which is a good thing.
Can I play Tony Soprano?
Ooh. So you want to take over for James Gandolfini, one of the most towering performances in all of television?
Someone has to.
So let's be clear here. Is this a recut of The Sopranos, or is it a redo of The Sopranos?
So
redo.
So it is a recut. It has been reformatted to fit your Google Glasses screen.
Oh. Which
you will have. Don't worry. Don't worry about waiting for the package to show. You'll be wearing it one day.
So because it's been made to fit, that Tony Soprano looks even bigger now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's
I love big Tony.
I was talking to the directors of the original show, and they actually thanked me because they said they didn't realize how much the original version of the show was held back by the size and shape of the screen.
Wow, David Chase thanking someone at first.
Wow.
Well, that's the power of Quibi.
Is this what the full screen version of The Wire was leading up to? The 16 by 9 version?
I'm sorry,
So-
I can't talk about our plans for The Wire.
Oh
So,
boy.
well, can you talk about your plans for The Sopranos, though? Because I've got a question. I'm really curious about this. Now that you've got the rights to the show, the question is, are you going to do the much-needed additional season of The Sopranos featuring CGI?
So we aren't actually going to do CGI. We are actually going to just recast the characters, and that's where Stairmaster comes in.
Yes.
So you,
And they're also going to use CGI to add more ducks to the pilot episode.
okay, well, if Stairmaster's going to play Tony Soprano, can I please play Big Pussy?
I'm just going to have to take your word for it that there's a character in The Sopranos called a Big Pussy.
Yeah, I think that actor was also in The Godfather.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure by the end of the show, he is dead. Spoilers.
I think a lot of people die on that show.
I'm pretty sure everyone outside
Yeah,
of Tony's
and-
immediate family is dead by the end of that show.
Can I be Christopher, who's
Christopher!
happy and alive and has a happy
Yeah, I'm sure nothing bad happened to
film
Christopher.
career? Can I, Connie, please?
All right. So what are you prepared to sacrifice for Quibi?
Oh dear. What is the stone you presented, Keo? It looks like a face, but it's all out of order.
Yeah, what's it called?
You know what to do with that.
I have an idea. So how do I call forth the demons?
What demons? What's wrong? Hey, Swanson, look outside. What's happening to the moon?
The moon
Is
has
that an
gone blood
eclipse?
red.
Don't worry about that.
There's
I
a
do.
Q on it now.
Yes, the Quibi Q. We actually bought that for. We actually got Elon Musk on the line.
Oh my god.
And he got us some SpaceX people to go up and put the Quibi Q on the moon.
You know,
Oh, that's
so
even
just
more
so you know-
upsetting.
I was on board with Quibi until you got working with Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's more upsetting than the prospect of being sacrificed to Godhead,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Oh, don't worry, you'll sacrifice one way or another.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so Connie, in order to achieve a newfound power, I'm going to sacrifice my two co-hosts here,
No!
Stairmaster and Swanson.
Oh.
All right.
I'm
Wait,
invoking
but
the power
can you
of the
sacrifice
Quahellet.
Stairmaster? He's already scheduled to be in the big Quibi relaunch of The Sopranos.
Yes, and
No,
I'm not of any real value to you.
He can do that well, Dad. Don't worry about it.
What?
So we'll just we'll go ahead and wrap this podcast up, and then we will get to the eclipse. And my friend Griffith will be there. He's actually next in line for CEO.
Oh,
Okay.
So let's
so-
look forward to that.
Stare.
So are those
We've
like
gotta
are those
figure
like
out some way to reverse this Quibi effect before the end of the podcast?
are these like creatures outside going to wait till the podcast is over to come in here and eat these guys, or what?
if we got our own
Yeah.
big sword, we could just kill all the demons.
Oh,
You know,
maybe.
it's
How
you
we
know
do that?
we just gotta wrap this up.
Well, we get a slab of iron and put it on the handle.
That'll never work.
And then
Okay.
Hey, what are you two talking about over there?
Nothing.
No. Sorry.
Hey,
What'd you guys watch this week?
so,
Anything interesting?
oh, I watched the Discord that we have now. Like a protective Mother Hawk.
Oh yeah, we have a TV Tuners Discord. I forgot to put that in the plugs. Check it
Yes,
out.
All
it's,
the greatest minds are here.
it's in our bio on Twitter.com.
I watched Gundam The Origin, the film Hexology.
Did it teach you how they were made?
No.
Oh, what's it
There
the
was no
origin of
Gundam.
then?
That's the origin of, like, the Zaku, more likely.
The what now?
The Zaku, the one that Zeon uses. The guy with the one eye who's, like, got the helmet. It's all green.
Oh, my friend.
Yes, your friend the Zaku.
All right. Well, how was it?
Oh, it was good, like, for the first half. Then the director got fired. And the last three films kind of separate as a result. And they use CGI for all the robot battles, which kind of sucks.
So let me pitch something to you here. You just said that it was good for the first half. This was a movie, right?
This was a 6 movies. 6
Okay.
1 hour long films.
Okay, so now if for example you had a show like this on Quibi, if it started to get bad, well, it can only get bad in 10-minute intervals so that he could swap the directors out. And as I personally know, being involved in the business so much, swapping out directors in between episodes is how you make a really good show.
That's true. It worked for Justice League.
Yeah.
The biggest TV show of all time.
And there's nothing about
2017.
Justice League that's currently being reworked that's costing a ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see a
more
problem
people
with it.
excited than the original property.
Yeah, I don't see a problem.
I tried to pitch the Quibi edit to them. They want the Zack edit.
Maybe afterwards
be
you
in the
guys can
Quibi-
get the Quibi edit.
Okay, well, it'll be in the Quibi edit as opposed to the Snyder cut.
Nah, that's it's going to be damaged goods at that point. Quibi is ready to move on.
Oh.
Yeah. So I didn't really watch a whole bunch to talk about this week, but I will say that I got a little bit of a bone to pick with Netflix.
What'd I do?
Uh-oh.
Everyone here on the podcast knows that I'm a big fan of the 1980s sitcom Cheers.
Yeah, everyone knows its name.
And it is leaving Netflix at the end of this month.
Is it going to Peacock?
You're damn right it is. I don't want to fucking pay for Peacock.
How often have you been watching Cheers, Swanson?
I mean,
Every
whenever
day.
I'm need a pick-me-up, I'll put on an episode of Cheers.
I mean, I'm sort of like that with the Half-Life VR stuff. It's just carved a hole in my brain.
And now what am I supposed to do? Go to some other streaming site that cannot be
You can watch
talked about?
Half-Life VR.
When I'm feeling down, I drink myself a veggie smoothie and I go for a power run.
Oh, God!
Yeah, Keo's a real exercise freak. A real health
Meanwhile,
nut.
I'm becoming a real hobby freak. I just bought my first model kit of the Gundam Mark II.
Yeah, you really got into Gundam real quick and obsessively.
I think the weed helped, to be honest.
This might be controversial to say on a television podcast, but the euphoria of getting exercise far surpasses any enjoyment of any television program.
Oh, I thought you were going to say weed.
Oh, wow. Now, Keo, have you considered
No.
making your own bread?
Oh, deep cut.
I've thought about it. I've sat down and weighed the pros and cons of creating my own bread, and I've decided
Healthier.
against. Is it?
I don't know, but it could be.
I wonder if he's still out there listening to us right now.
He'll know. Anyway,
If you're listening, bread maker guy,
You know our email. Please send us a letter. We just want to know you're okay.
anybody else got stuff they want to talk about?
We didn't even ask Keo what he watched.
Presumably he didn't
Well,
watch
you don't need
anything.
to ask me because I didn't watch anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
Connie, what's up? What's
All
up,
right.
good bitch?
Okay, let me just go ahead and tell you that, of course, and, stop me right here if, this is a big surprise. I watched some Quibi shows.
Like Murder
Oh.
House.
Oh, yes, I am, now, I don't, I usually get to watch all of them for free, but you can also watch a couple of these for free if you go get a 14-day trial with Quibi. You can try out either their ads or no ads options. If you like.
Why
Why
I
would you
wanna
try out? Yeah, why would you try out the ads option?
Maybe because...
People like ads.
Yeah.
They like to see new
Well,
products
I'm into
and services.
advertisements. That's one reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my favorite thing is when the ads come on.
Yeah, Connie has been DMing me the business agreement while this recording has been going on. And I've already agreed to be in all the advertisements for Quibi.
You will...
Can we
you
talk
will-
about how amazing it is that people will literally watch the Super Bowl to watch advertisements?
It is sort of a nice little burst
What
of
if the Super Bowl was
capitalistic
in-
joy.
What if the Super Bowl was in 10-minute discrete chunks?
There's, it kind of is, because,
And
you watch 10 minutes of it and then there's more ads.
Yeah, they have to take a break because their heads hurt all the time.
So I got on Quibi and I scrolled through, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes worth of options to try to find something that I could watch for the pod. And I settled on The Most Dangerous Game.
Oh yeah, the one with Ice-T.
What? Ice-T is in there?
No, he's in Surviving the Game, which is the
Okay.
same premise.
Okay, so in The Most Dangerous Game, this movie's entire premise is it has the setup of Breaking Bad, which is, I'm in America, so I have a medical problem that I can't pay for.
Mm-hmm. Like my ankle, which hurts all the time.
So just like that, except this guy runs all the time, so it can't be his ankle.
Of course.
And the Most Dangerous Game twist comes in when a man in a suit approaches him and tells him, hey, what if you wanted to do the first 30 minutes of John Wick 3, and then we'll pay you for it? And he eventually says, okay. So it is, instead of the classic Most Dangerous Game setup, where, they drop you off on an island and like an old Englishman hunts you with a rifle or whatever. It is, they drop you off in Detroit, and then there are 5 assassins that are GPS tracking you, trying to kill you. And
that actually is pretty badass.
They're not allowed to use guns. They have to kill you in hand-to-hand combat.
Okay, I love this now.
Okay, yeah.
And they have GPS tracking for your positions, and they get updated on where you are once every hour.
But I wish this was a movie. Or Henry Busey, or Rutger Hauer.
And every hour he survives, exponentially more money gets dumped into his wife's bank account, so he can, leave behind money.
But it's only 5 assassins. Like, if he kills them all, they won't send more.
Well, that's the thing, because this is really low budget, they they pretty much never have any fight scenes. It's always just, running away, or, 2 seconds of struggle before more running away.
Oh my fucking god.
So you're saying that this took the premise that sounded pretty cool and just threw it in the trash, Connie?
Well, that's why it's so good on Quibi, because after I watched 7 episodes of it, which only took a little bit over an hour, I was ready to move on, because everything cool about the premise was pretty much set on fire by having to watch it in 10-minute chunks on my phone in bed.
Now, did each 10-minute chunk have an absurd cliffhanger?
Absolutely. They always do.
Nice.
So, how many of you have actually tried Quibi, by the way?
I think 0 out of 3.
0 out of 3.
I learned something actually really fun about Quibi.
Oh my.
And using this. And that is that every show on Quibi is actually formatted to be viewed either in normal sideways phone view or vertical phone view.
What?
You can hold up your phone vertically and it will show you a cut of the same show you're watching, except it keeps everything in focus on a vertical phone view.
What? So there's
That's actually impressive.
Yeah. But that means that this is just super cropped either way. There's
That's impressive, but I don't want
it. It's super awkward. It's you mostly, you can't get a shot that establishes a scene around a character, so it's always just every shot is just one character taking up the whole frame.
Now, if you were to ballpark it, how much money do you think that costs?
It's okay. We made people do it for free at gunpoint.
Oh, I imagine that it's shooting this on an IMAX camera, and that's how they're getting away with having this massive space they only show you some of.
Well, wait, how much are you paying the ski mask guys and gun threatening the people making it?
They're actually, they do it for free. They do it for exposure.
Yeah, they're from the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
The one from, Southern Africa,
not the American Salvation Army?
No.
Which would be, I think, the first thing most people would think of.
Yes.
So, yeah, they cut every show for 2 different, viewing angles, and you can just switch between them by turning your phone. All the title cards are cut differently so they fit onto the screen correctly. And, I don't know, I spent possibly more time just being fascinated with turning my phone around and seeing that they bothered to do this than I did being that into the premise of the show.
Imagine if they had bothered to make it able to watch on TV.
Oh, yeah, I would, and, if they weren't constrained to 10 minutes and maybe they hired a couple people that could act, it would probably be pretty good, because the premise is so strong.
Did you watch any of the, big shows with, popular actors and actresses?
Keegan's Court?
Chrissy's Court.
So here's the deal. I don't have to, because I was actually involved in the production of all of those, so I already know what goes on in them. The Most Dangerous Game is the only one that I wasn't, directly involved in the filming, scripting, directing, and writing of.
Can you tell me whether they put the murder house or not onto the market?
They do.
Yes!
Oh, nice.
And then the Property Brothers show up and they high-five them, and they say, "Good job, you're better than us at this." And then that is how we segue into the announcement where we actually bought the Property Brothers for Quibi.
But they already...
Bought them?
Hold on, but you bought the Property Brothers, but their first appearance is telling the Murder House guys they're way better than they are. Now, it seems like wasted money.
No, it's like how in WWE when another wrestler from another company comes over and they immediately lose to the established guys, and it makes sure that you know that the brand is strong.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Connie, this is really fascinating to me. I just want to get a better picture of how you start your day working on these high-intensity productions. So, first of all, you must have to get up pretty early to do this job. We work through the whole day. What kind of drink do you drink to stay energized?
Okay, I actually exclusively only drink any fountain drink that they have in the fountain drink machines at the Quibi offices.
Ooh, what is that?
Thirsty.
Do they have Powerade?
They have Quibi Aid, actually.
Q-Aid.
Yeah, Q-Aid, as they call it. It's
and they are
okay.
They
put a potent mix of a nice little cocktail of various performance enhancers. So the thing is you ask me what I do when I get up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, that's kind of a moot question, because when you're drinking enough of that stuff and you're also always looking at your Google Glass, which has, they actually add like subliminal corporate loyalty programming going on in those. You actually don't need to sleep anymore. It's pretty incredible.
Maybe you should beat that part out, Swanson. I don't think Quibi would appreciate that being made public.
Oh, well, I mean, this is a brand ambassador right now. I don't know if we really need to...
You're right.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, if you'll note, Sarah, yours actually arrived, and yeah, if you look in the top right, you're already wearing them.
Oh,
and so I don't have to worry about any of this leaking, because the programming will actually prevent you from speaking out about it in context you're not supposed to anymore.
I have to whisper or my head will explode. Quibi secrets.
That sounds like poor recording choices.
Yeah.
So, Connie, are there bombs inside of these Google glasses?
No, that's the funny thing. They use your own psychic energy to explode your head.
Oh, so It's not like... So it isn't a ripoff of Suicide Squad. Good to know.
No, it's a ripoff of Scanners.
Well, at least they're ripping off something from the 80s, like all of their other properties. Now, Keo, you didn't circle back on RoboCop 2, right?
No, I never got around to that, so when I do, I'll definitely inform you on what happened in RoboCop 2.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, let's get to the news. And I think Connie's going to be happy with this first news item, because it's Quibi!
It's Quibi! It's Quibi time!
It's Quibi!
It's Quibi!
Oh, I thought it was already Quibi time.
What time is it right now? It's Quibi time. Yes. Quibi has announced today, which was yesterday when this article was written, that starting next Monday, they are going to be airing a remake of the fantasy classic, The Princess Bride.
You're welcome.
Whoa, that was your idea.
I was asking for that every day.
Yeah,
I know you were.
Every day I wake up and I say, The Princess Bride was a really fun movie. What if they recreated it, but also everyone's in quarantine?
And also, we don't know any of the actors.
Yeah.
Besides one name.
I don't know any of the actors anyway.
So the service has agreed to air its star-studded recreation of the film, which was put together by a whole bunch of famous people living in self-isolation.
Oh. This is gonna be like the season 6 of Arrested Development, and I guess season 4. How many seasons were there?
No, there were 6, I think, altogether, but no one
6?
watched. I've never watched the 6th one, or no, there's 5 altogether. I never watched the 5th one.
The 4th and the 5th one where they had CGI actors into the same scene.
Yeah. So included in this self-congratulatory session here is Joe Jonas, because sure, Sophie Turner, who played Sansa in Game of Thrones.
You'll be glad to know that she's actually at level 5 Quibi commitment.
Level 5? What, you guys Scientologists?
Yes.
They're amateurs, honestly.
Oh. Neil Patrick Harris, Hugh Jackman, Andy Serkis, Keegan-Michael Key of Key and Peele.
Lattices of coincidence, man.
Jack Black, Taika Waititi, John Hamm, lots of people. Josh Gad, of course, because you can't have an annoying idea without Josh Gad around.
What is Josh Gad's appeal?
He was Olaf.
Josh!
Who?
In Frozen. He was Olaf.
Who? It's Frozen.
Frozen's that movie where they're like, "Hey, you should let it go, let it go." Hey,
what do you let it go, Keo?
I don't know what the song's about. They just say "let it go."
I think it's about being a lesbian.
No, I mean that's the coded reference, but it's really about letting go of your childhood traumas.
Oh, yeah. Don't ask questions about what the Disney executives are doing in the Caribbean or anything. Just let it go.
Yes. The whole project was masterminded by not original movie director, by new director Jason Reitman, who is quoted as saying, "The week that the stay-at-home order came through in California, I just woke up one of the first mornings. I think, like most people did, feeling as though, all right, I need to be able to do something of value." Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't know about you guys. When I first woke up, right after being furloughed, I decided I need to do something of value right now.
When I think of value, I think of remaking something old but worse.
When I think of value, I think of making people around the world laugh for maybe like 5 seconds every week.
When I think of a value, I think of being cautious about the fact that Hugh Jackman is involved in this, because he's actually only at level 1 Quibi commitment, so he's a little bit of a wild card.
Oh.
And he does have those claws, the big metal claws that come out. So
oh, yeah. Those are surgically in there, yeah.
He could have a little bit of an uprising. I'm a little worried about that, but Griffith told me that it's okay.
I think he's famously anti-brainwashing.
Now, Jack Black is going to be playing Wesley, a.k.a. the Man in Black.
I thought that was Harry's friend.
No.
Ron Weasley. Ron Wesley.
Okay. Now, what level of Quibi commitment is Jack Black at?
Classified.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So some of them are classified and others are not.
It must be pretty high then. They must be like level like 8.
It's actually weird. Like some of them between 1 and 5 are classified.
Oh.
Huh.
It's weird like that.
I am very curious to watch this. I made that sound like I'm going to watch it. I'm mostly just curious to see how these fight scenes are put together. There are numerous sword fights going on in The Princess Bride.
I can see how they're going to do that. They're just going to rotoscope bum fights.
Yeah? Is that can you comment on that, Connie?
So that's actually kind of in line with what we're thinking. It'll be, really what we're relying on is this one we're actually only going to format for the vertical thing. So that way you can't even tell when the other person isn't there off the side of the screen, because with the, I don't know what you would call it, like a 3:11 aspect ratio. Top to bottom, you can really only see one actor at a time, which is our advantage for filming this under this environment.
Okay, so every time they do a martial arts move of any kind, there's going to be a hard cut to the next shot, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're just going to kind of punch off the side of the screen, and then it's going to cut to the other one, and the person will act like they got hit from something offside of the screen.
So it's going to be like every Jason Bourne movie times a million.
Yes.
Interesting.
You love to see it.
All right, so
I mean, I guess allegedly this could be fun, but eh.
I've just got one more quick question for Connie. Yeah. I see next to you on the desk.
Yeah, what's that in your pockets? Just kidding.
Yeah, and I see there's several canisters sitting on the desk there.
Okay, I didn't think I was going to have to talk about the canisters today. Okay.
Are they Quibi related?
All right. Stare. I need you to go ahead and take one of these canisters.
I'm scared.
Okay, just here you go. Hold this. You're gonna head down to the one that make sure you always carry it. See the Q on the canister?
Yes.
You always want to carry it so that faces outward, for the brand recognition. Make sure, like, if you walk by anything, they can see.
All right.
But also don't let anyone see your face. And just head down to the water treatment facility.
Okay.
Let them see the Q, not you.
I'll put out my Q-themed baklava.
Yeah. How did you give Stare the canister remotely?
There are secrets to Quibi you don't need to know, Keo.
Yeah. Stare's understanding the mechanics are still living implanted into his brain thanks to the Google Glass that he's wearing.
Listen, Quibi had to do a lot of research in order to remake Space Jam, and they learned a lot about the laws underlying our reality. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, you had to go and tell them about the new Space Jam remake, didn't you?
No, please, all Master.
Right. Hey,
no.
Hey, before you dump that in the water treatment facility, why don't you take a sip? You gotta take a sip.
No, I don't.
You gotta just There you go. Okay. You feeling good now? You feeling better?
I can only think in 10-minute increments now.
There you go. Okay. Okay, go ahead and dump that in, and we'll move on to the next topic.
All right.
Before we move on, I do have one last thing I want to mention here. Quibi's CEO, Jeffrey Katzenberg, purchased the rights to distribute this Princess Bride remake by making a $1 million donation to the World Central Kitchen.
Wow.
So that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, I actually loaned him that money to do that.
You had $1 million lying around?
You just cut a check, right? You're just like, here you go.
There you go. Invest it in something like I don't know. Just pick something from the old times that people have nostalgia for, and just say you're going to remake it.
I guess once you have high enough Quibi clearance, money is just a thing, just an object.
Yeah, it's a formality more than anything.
Right. All right. Well, with that out of the way, regrettably, Connie, we do have to move on to other streaming services.
That's in due time they will fall. So it's okay to talk about them now. It's not really a big deal.
Namely, CBS All Access, the streaming service from CBS that's mainly for Twilight Zone and Star Trek shows and not much else. CBS All Access has been around for about as long as we've been doing this show. I seem to recall that one of our early episodes was a really bad CBS show.
I remember we have no enthusiasm at all for CBS All Access.
Well, yeah, in general.
Yes, it's already CBS already is like old people central, and then to make it a streaming service, and maybe perhaps
how do we describe CBS before? It's like the shows your parents leave on in the background.
That's right. And CBS All Access is the streaming service that they leave on when they're, sleep in the ground.
Yes. Oh no. Yes, my father wanted me to put this widescreen TV at his gravestone.
I think what we're going to be doing very soon, and maybe Connie can explain what Quibi's plans are, but I'm thinking probably like some screens inside of the coffin to play
their favorite streaming service.
This is like a fucked up variant of Upload.
Yeah,
it plays their favorite streaming service 24/7.
Which, incidentally, that is Quibi.
Yes.
Retroactively, actually, we're adding this to old coffins.
We're also unloading these canisters onto graveyards.
Yeah, that those are actually full of like sort of a nanite juice that'll just like form a TV that'll make the corpse watch Quibi.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've got this Google Glass on my eye right now.
Oh yeah, it arrived. Good, it arrived. Thank you.
I still haven't gotten mine.
I'm looking, and I'm seeing we apparently had a program to go into the Egyptian pyramids and install Quibi in there.
Oh yes, it is. So the legalese, we worked it out in such a way that it is retroactive to all nations and all time forward and backward.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's why I have to go find the Tomb of Gilgamesh.
Uh-huh.
And introduce it.
We actually we're making pharaohs watch Yu-Gi-Oh right now because we think they like that stuff.
Oh, I didn't know Quibi had Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, that's a big get. It ain't no thing,
Yeah, that's pennies on the dollar right there.
I would love to watch them have card game battles in 10-minute increments.
CBS All Access has perhaps realized that it's not great for the brand to sort of just only be a show for bad Star Trek and Twilight Zone remakes. So instead, they've decided to start upping what's on that programming slate, starting with all episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wow!
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a get, I guess.
That is a pretty big get, I guess.
Yeah.
That's still not going to make you sign up for your product, CBS. You better step it up much harder than that.
Yeah.
You need like a suite of shows that I care about.
This
Maybe
is
The
part of their
Simpsons.
rebrand effort to bring in more library programming, which is to say programming from their various branches like Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, BET, and MTV, etc. And stuff from Paramount's film catalog. Why they waited so long to do this, I don't know.
So was SpongeBob not available on streaming at all before? Or what?
It was on
Netflix.
Amazon.
Was that Amazon?
It was on Amazon Prime. They had bought the rights to it for a while. It must have just stopped, which is why it came back now.
What's most
I just love watching these giant companies like just throw the ball back and forth
Yeah.
and put it like in a different hoop.
What's most shocking to me about this is apparently Nickelodeon doesn't have any kind of streaming service.
That's right. I mean, to be fair, neither does Cartoon Network.
They kind
I
of
thought they had
do,
Teen
but I think
Titans
it's only
Go.
on phones, which, good
Oh.
on them. They understand how to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't believe Nickelodeon had any like streaming service of any type, unless you count that old Nick Rewind channel.
Yes, TV channels are like streaming services.
We don't talk about Nick Rewind.
I mean, if you think about it,
Swanson.
TVs were the original streamers before Twitch and whatnot.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to me. I'm not going to ask you to expand on
Yes.
that.
Anyway, the move will be coming right as the new SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, is
Yes,
being
featuring Keanu
released.
Reeves.
Yeah, being released digitally, so you can watch Keanu Reeves playing himself in the movie, if you want to do that.
Wow, talk about synergy right there.
Expand on that. Oh, I guess.
It's simultaneously releasing.
I thought you
it, so
meant
they're
like
gonna have
Keanu Reeves in particular.
Oh, Keanu Reeves and SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is sort of like a sponge of acting knowledge.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
In a way, John Wick is sort of a gun sponge.
I mean, if you think about it, Keanu Reeves is kind of innocent and pure of heart like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And probably has never had sex.
I think he's had like a kid.
Oh, really? I thought he was single.
you don't have to have sex to have a kid at all.
Is this proven?
This is proven.
Oh, okay, scientific fact.
I have a biologist right here on my Google Glass, and he's telling me it's true.
Oh.
Is that a Quibi program?
All right, Connie, am I at liberty to share about this?
Use your best judgment, and by that I mean pay attention to what the commands in your head tell you to do.
Okay, so Quibi actually has a new exciting program. It's the Quibi Bioengineering Program. And involved in that are a team of course, biologists, chemists, engineers, all that stuff. And on the team is is one biologist who just gives us the correct information directly into our Google Glass, telling us how the human body works.
Oh.
Usually it's to help us, perform. I guess Connie already mentioned this, but we do have licenses to kill, and killing efficiently is easier if you know about the human body.
Yes.
So that's what he's mostly there for.
And that's why we've got that episode of the American School Bus coming to Quibi, where they go inside the human body.
But only that episode. Couldn't get any more.
Well, it wasn't relevant to our
Oh,
training.
okay. Alright, well, with that out of the way, best
I
of
have
luck
an
to
update.
CBS All Access. Okay.
Big update.
Oh,
Quibi
sorry.
now. Oh,
Hold on, just a moment.
You guys must have got the update at the same time.
Okay. Oh, you're there. Okay. All right. Yeah. At Swanson's. You
What?
there? Okay. I don't know. You actually caught us. I'm helping to record our podcast / indoctrinate them right now. So, we're a little bit. You can. You could just leave it on the doorstep. Oh yeah. How's Jeff?
Jeff
Is it okay? No. I'll explain in a minute.
Jeff Probst?
Is it okay? Okay. All right. That's wonderful. How's the trailer?
What? The trailer?
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, yeah. Just leave it on the doorstep. Yeah. I mean, I think I'll appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, head back to HQ.
Who's this Swanson
Okay, so much.
he's talking about, and whose doorstep could this be?
Okay. That was Gerald, actually.
Gerald?
Cardell?
Oh yeah, he left you a little present on your doorstep.
Oh?
Okay, go ahead and go check that out.
Okay.
Gerald's favorite brand of sunflower seeds.
And he left these for me.
Yes, they're for you. He thought you would appreciate the callback, and he remembered when he was on one of the old shows of yours.
All right, so let's be clear about this Gerald we're talking about. We're talking about Gerald who appeared on the Ancient TV Tuners.
Yes.
Oh, of course. I actually everyone that you've ever had on you've ever had on the show, I've been in touch with.
Oh dear.
No wonder Gio doesn't talk to us anymore.
Yeah, he's too busy with Quibi.
We actually had to use him as biomass to fill those canisters up.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Rest in peace.
Well, with that out of the way, let's get to, as you guys know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. A lot of things currently happening. And Hollywood has decided that the best way to sort of react to the current news going on is to arbitrarily change things that don't really affect our day-to-day life. Now, we could argue that's good or bad, and maybe we will in a second here. But first, I want to get up this stuff here. 30 Rock, Scrubs, Community, and numerous other shows have been removing episodes that feature blackface. It's hard to believe that there's so many shows made in like the past decade that have blackface in it, but they've all been just summarily removed.
Hey,
I'm just a little
fellas, let's
kind
be
of
honest.
wondering.
Blackface, it kills. The crowds love it.
Yeah.
What's the context for including blackface in these shows, though? Is it to show that somebody's racist, and that's why they put it in? Or is it because they think
well, that's why
blackface is
Community
funny?
did it.
Well, yeah, the Community joke was that he was dressing up as a drow, and so it looked like blackface, and I think it was like it was supposed to be an unintentional racism thing.
Oh.
So you could argue that might not be okay. There's some 30 Rock ones where one of the characters who's like an oblivious star wears blackface to show that like it's not a big deal. You could also argue that it's a joke. One of the episodes that's being removed is one that John Hamm plays an actor in the 50s who was wearing blackface because the studio couldn't bear to have more than one black actor on. So that seems to be a direct critique of it.
Yeah, I think just kind of doing a blind sweep of it is kind of dumb, really.
Yeah, because another thing that was removed was an episode of Netflix's reboot of Mr. Show with Bob and David, in which one of David Cross's characters wears blackface in front of a police officer.
And the police officer laughs and claps.
No, the police officer is black, so he's not happy.
There was an
Wait,
Always Sunny episode.
Are they doing Eric Andre shit on that show? Or is
No,
this a sketch?
this is like a skit.
Oh. That would be a very good sketch for an Eric Andre show if he wasn't already.
Did Always
Obviously,
Sunny
I'm not
get
like
hit?
the best person to comment on this, but I feel like if you're just taking it all away without any nuance, you're not really like examining the whole issue here.
Well, Swanson, you might not be, but we have someone on the podcast that can talk about this. Stare.
Oh, what?
Well, yeah, you would be the one to be able to give like the hard facts about whether or not this is okay, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, now, Stare, do you have anything in your past that you'd want to apologize for real quick?
It's okay. Justin Trudeau is very persuasive sometimes.
Okay, I feel like I'm Vic Mackey at the penultimate episode of The Shield. About to sit down listing all of his crimes in exchange for the pardon.
That's right.
Well, one time I sent Keo an image of like this Pokemon battle. And like a Pokemon was, you're getting a message, your Pokemon or whatever. It's cropped, so you just see your Pokemon name here. And the Pokemon's name was my N-word. So it's like, you're my N-word. And I sent that to Keo because I thought he was my friend. And then I realized, wait a minute.
Now, Stare, what do you think about like removing all signs of blackface, regardless of what it might be critiquing or commenting on?
I think they should apply an AI that just detects blackface and paints it white. Or like the deepfake technology, I mean.
That's pretty good, That's a good solution.
Yes.
Now, the Scrubs episodes that were scrubbed seem to be more in line with things that I would agree with in terms of them not being there anymore. One of the episodes features a flashback in which Zach Braff's character appears in blackface at a college party and is summarily beat up. The joke being that his friend, Turk, who is a black man, put it on him as a gag.
That's strange.
Then there's 2 episodes from the 5th season in which Zach Braff and another of his co-stars both wear blackface to imitate their co-star, Donald Faison, who plays Turk. So that seems even worse.
Yeah, I don't like that. This is a bad use of blackface.
Like, I think the idea should be that, like, if you're gonna use it at all, you should probably be critiquing it, not just wearing it. Like, the Community one is, at best, a middle ground, right?
I think the African American community should take back blackface like they did the N-word.
So you're saying that black people should, like, paint their faces, like, even darker?
Yes.
And looking at my Twitter
They're
feed
like
earlier,
Blazing Saddles, I'm thinking,
looking at my Twitter feed earlier, there seemed to be some uproar over an episode of The Golden Girls that was taken down because they were wearing mud masks.
Oh no!
So maybe there is just an algorithm just taking these episodes down.
Yeah, this is starting to get dumb.
I'm really shocked that they weren't wearing blackface on The Golden Girls.
Rest assured that once Quibi starts doing blackface, they will only do it when it's very funny and appropriate.
Oh, thank God.
I'm glad that you commented on that. Thank you, Connie. Now to the issue that is a bit more nuanced.
New,
sorry?
I was going to say, can we talk about this new Google Glass app that will automatically add the correct facial coloring to everyone around you?
The correct one. How do they determine that?
That's a bit of a black box like AI situation where we can't explain how it decides to do it. We just know that we have to trust the algorithm.
And the algorithm tells us to trust it.
And then you do.
Huh. So I have one last news item here.
Sorry for interrupting, Swanson.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have one last news item here. This is a bit more of a nuanced area in terms of the blackface thing. This is a bit nuanced, perhaps. The Simpsons has recently announced that they will no longer be casting white actors in non-white roles. This follows a slew of various people who have been performing as black people on animated programs, dropping out of their roles. Both Jenny Slate and Kristen Bell dropped out of their roles in Big Mouth and Central Park. And Mark Henry's someone else. Mike Henry dropped out of his role of playing Cleveland from Family Guy.
And Clancy Brown will no longer be voicing Mr. Krabs.
Now, personally, for me, all I wanted was for the police to be defunded. But they're actually going above and beyond and doing better than that and just changing things about pop culture.
Personally,
I'm so
like
glad that instead of making actual structural changes to the way that the government and the world around us works, they decided instead, what if we made pop culture better?
I like how they're just focusing on superficial casting instead of not sending people who beat their wives to talk to rape victims.
Yeah, no, I really love this new trend here. I like how this is going. Big fan.
I mean, I thought the real problem with the characters in these shows was not that they're voiced by white people, but that they're making them into like stereotypes.
Yeah, I mean that's still the issue doesn't change if you still write Cleveland Brown as the stereotypical black character on the show. It doesn't matter if he's voiced by a black guy or not. Like the whole
I think
the whole Apu thing was because he was the only representation of Indian people for like 20 years on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can bring in like an actor who's matches the race of the character, but if they're playing a stereotype, I think that might be even worse.
Yeah, like are we gonna bring in a guy like a Mexican guy to play Bumblebee Man? And is that gonna make it any better? Like I don't think Bumblebee Man's gonna suddenly be better.
Noted controversial figure, Bumblebee Man.
Ay caramba, indeed.
Is Bumblebee guy problematic?
I mean, he's no Apu.
Yeah, I mean, he's slightly problematic.
Okay, I found
I'll
a video
say that.
essay about how he's problematic. The problem with Bumblebee Man, a victim of The Simpsons.
I mean, I think you can find that most of the Simpsons racial characters are problematic because it was made 30 years ago.
Except Carl.
Well, yeah, Carl's just a regular guy.
Yeah, like his race has nothing to do with his character, really.
Which is ironic because that's like the race we're most racist against in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like changing the it's a good idea, I guess, if you want to like give these actors more screen time, but it's not going to change how you present. Like, I refuse to believe that the writers on Family Guy are suddenly going to have a profound change of heart about how they've been writing Cleveland for 20 years. At the end of the day, I don't know that this changes really anything other than I guess it makes the people who work in Hollywood feel better.
Oh, I think it's a good thing to at least try to cast people of color.
I think it's great to comfort coastal liberal elites who make six figures a year.
I think it's a good idea to have people of color on your in your cast. That's good. That's a good thing. I don't think it necessarily needs to change. I don't think this is like the big hot button issue everyone was worried about.
Personally, I think these sort of changes need to come bottom up, not from the top down, but that's a different issue entirely.
Yeah.
About how to rewrite society.
I guess by that logic, this is sort of a way of doing it, but...
If you got a good plan on rewriting society, hit us up on the TV Tuners
first
email.
We'll all form one giant union, and then we'll all go on strike.
Oh.
Okay, a general strike, and then what?
Well, then we get to make the new contract, the social contract.
The mental contract, the soul contract.
Yes.
The social contract is David Fincher's new sequel to The Social Network.
Yes.
All right, so you put that as step one, but I think there's probably
so step
10
two is we get
to
Sega to make
one.
a new gaming console.
Oh.
What's it going to be called? Quick.
When you think about it, the end of the Dreamcast was the end of society as we knew it.
I mean, yes, Western civilization did peak shortly around the time of the Dreamcast.
As soon as Power Stone 2 came out and we all realized how good it was all downhill from there.
Yeah.
Okay, it'd be called the Sega Revolution.
Yes. Fund it. All right. That's it for the news. So let's move on. Oh. Huh.
Oh.
All right, I got my glasses here. My Quibi glasses.
Are they saying something to you?
I'm gonna put
Did
these
you
on
eat the sunflower? Did you eat the sunflower seeds yet? Because for you in particular, it's important that you have both.
Yeah, I did. I was chewing on some of these sunflower seeds.
Okay, very good.
Let me put on these glasses real quick and that's.
Well, I'm glad you're following the guidance of Mr. Pod and avoiding getting the sounds of eating in your recording.
Now, these glasses are working fine. Okay, let's get to trailers, huh? It's time for Trailer Blazers. Hit the theme, Keo.
Bum, 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 bum. Trailer Blazer.
Hey guys, welcome to Trailer Blazers, where we talk about the latest and greatest in trailers. I'm just gonna keep these glasses on here. Now, this week we talked about a new streaming service coming on the market. No offense, Connie. It's Peacock, of course, and NBC's
Peacock.
baffingly titled streaming service.
Peacock.
And, they have a bunch of new shows coming on. and it's tons of fun stuff. Like this one we watched, Intelligence.
About a guy with none of it.
I already forgot the entire trailer.
What is up with these workplace comedies about like very serious like U.S. government agencies?
To be fair, I don't know if you noticed it in this, Keo, but he is actually not working in the U.S. He's working in Britain, aka a worse place to be working intelligence in.
He's like a fish, but he's not in his normal environment.
Wait, he's from the NSA, though.
Yeah, he's an NSA agent sent to what is
the
British intelligence agency?
There's two. There's MI5 and there's MI6.
I think he's in MI5.
Yeah, they're the ones who investigate terrorists in Britain. Well, MI6, it's like murder striking workers in like Nepal or something.
Yeah, he's working with MI5, and he's like he's a real figure. He's a real Steve Carell-esque energy going on here. There's major Space Force vibes that I'm getting from this trailer.
Yeah, it's very dissonant to me.
It's Space Force without the ambition.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I will say this much for it. At least in this trailer, the character looks like he's going to be stupider than Steve Carell's character is portrayed in Space Force. Like, it doesn't look like anyone's going to respect him at any point.
Also, there seemed to be a subplot about him wanting to fuck this older British woman.
Was that? Yeah? Is that what you got from that? Because I got it as he was just making poor choices of words.
So,
no,
is you saying that the character is going to be portrayed stupider? Is it being portrayed by Ross from Friends a part of that for you?
No, because I don't think Ross from Friends is stupid per se. He's sort of like pompous, right?
He's been in Band of Brothers, Band of Brothers. That's a not stupid guy.
Yeah,
but kind of
definitely his character in this show is stupid. It's not just Ross.
To be fair, though, he did play Robert Kardashian in the OJ story, and that's a stupid guy if there ever was one.
Yeah, I guess. What a tragic figure.
That said, I would say David Schwimmer himself isn't really the stupid type in terms of people that he plays. But I mean, he's doing a decent job here. He's trying really hard in this trailer. Like, I have not seen an actor try this hard in a trailer in a long time.
He's basically begging for the subscriptions.
Yeah, he said at the end, if it was just him looking at the screen saying, "Hey guys, please subscribe to Peacock. I really need the money," I would have believed it.
Please subscribe to me, please.
Now,
I just want these business guys to be honest with me. They need to come on camera wearing their suit and tie and just say, "Please, look me right in the eye through the camera and say, please, just subscribe to our service. We really want the money."
Isn't that what they kind of do?
We didn't realize how many streaming services there were. Please.
Isn't that kind of what they do with that first look thing they used to show at movie theaters?
We're having so much trouble
trailers?
competing with Quibi, please.
With
Yeah,
Maria Nunes.
Now, guys, did you catch the Peacock tagline at the end of this?
Yes.
It's I think I kind of love it in terms of how easy it will be to misconstrue.
Disastrous.
It's the Peacock tagline is "Can't not watch."
This is worse designed than an RBMK reactor.
Like, there's no way that someone's gonna say that correctly. There's no way.
Can't not watch.
Like, someone's gonna say it, and then someone's gonna say "cannot watch."
Cannot watch.
It's a terrible idea.
No. Cannot not watch.
Cannot not watch. That should have been. You know what? That made me laugh. That's good.
Liability. Yes.
And then I remember this little morsel. The people behind Peacock are some of these very same people behind previous streaming service CISO.
Who?
That's right. CISO was a since defunct streaming service that was supposed to be for like comedy. It was also run by NBC.
I remember this now.
Yeah, the McElroy brothers had a show there. There was a bunch of other improv comedians who got comedy shows there. It went under in about 2 years.
CISO is like what the fake news is saying Quibi is right now.
Oh.
Like it just didn't go anywhere at all. Unlike Quibi, which, as we've are all aware,
it's legitimate. It's the only media. It's the only art out there now.
Now, you may think that, Quibi wasn't around at the time, but we were involved a little bit. Oh. CISO's failure is actually something that we engineered. And the Peacock thing, we're all dunking on that slogan because, it seems a little bit ill-advised. I just let you know, guess who talked him into using that slogan? Wow. Oh, yeah.
You personally?
I did it.
You're devious.
They don't even understand.
Wow, what a mastermind.
And now that you've said that, are you worried that they're going to find out now?
It's too late.
Yeah, I mean, it's already public.
Now,
they can't, take away the catchphrase.
They can stop using it immediately, I guess.
Now,
too little, too late.
What do you guys think about intelligence? Is it a tune in or a tune out?
It's a tune out.
I think
tune out.
There was no killing people in this trailer, which is not what I want to see in a spy show. But
yeah, Ross looks fit in this. Why isn't he fighting people?
Yeah, you know what? I will give the show the benefit of the doubt. Maybe if they have a terrorist attack actually succeed at the end of the season, a la AMC's Rubicon, that'd be good.
Is that how Rubicon ended?
No way.
Yeah.
There's no way they're that ambitious. That's I'm going to put that at a 0% chance.
That would be funny.
This is
yes.
This is way too lighthearted for that. This totally makes light of the
serial car bombs.
Terror.
Hang on now. Hey, since we're all in on this together, of course they aren't going to do that on their own. But what if we could convince them to?
What if we bought out intelligence and put it on Quibi?
Yeah.
And we could just change out the last 10 minutes of the last episode.
And we can
something
just
else.
rename it to 24.
I thank you for saying 10 minutes, by the way. You're on the ball with our time constraints per episode.
Yes. What if this podcast was only 10 minutes long?
I think less listeners, actually.
Oh.
All right. Well,
maybe more listeners. They want to check out the intro,
and that's it.
Yeah, this week's intro that went on for 10 minutes.
What if we released our episode daily, but 10 minutes at a time?
So a year from now, they'd get to the end of this episode.
That's right.
Well, it is starting to get long, isn't it? Isn't that just the original Game Grumps strategy?
Oh, yeah, it sort of is. They're what was that guy who was kind of Spoonie?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's what...
Aaron Hansen and Spoonie.
Yes, the two friends.
Spoonie and Aaron would have recorded video in hour chunks, but they would just pretend like they're stopping, but they keep going.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do here on the podcast. We never stop. We just keep going.
Yeah. Don't stop. Now I'm rocking.
Anyway, that's it for Trailer Blazers. It's time for our main event. This week we pulled another TV Tuners first and watched a comedy special, Eric Andre's Legalize Everything. And now we're going to talk about it. Hey guys.
I love this opening sketch.
Hey guys, get a load of this. Weed.
Man. Yo, weed though.
Sometimes it do be like that.
It opens with a Mr. Andre.
Yeah, he does
up in a police car.
Yeah, he does a very Eric Andre opening.
Hang on a second. It do be like that.
Oh, hey, whoa! You're going places, man.
I wish Seth Rogen had showed up at some point.
Seth Rogen? Oh yeah, then he could just hear him laughing in the corner. Just,
yes. He's like the producer on the Eric Andre show.
Yeah, but this is a very Eric Andre opening. Now,
Eric Andre show opening.
What did you think of this opening?
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's not the best. It's no.
But I think he went too far.
It's no. I lost my job at Fruit Loops.
Well, yeah,
it's pretty funny.
So he gets on stage and immediately his energy is palpable.
Which is what you want to see from an Eric Andre thing.
Yeah.
I can't tell, but throughout this entire set, all I could think of is there's a 50-50 chance that this is genuine and a 50-50 chance that he's just mocking Dennis Leary specifically.
I think I've got this feeling that Eric Andre's in on a bit that only he's party to, and the audience thinks they're in on it, but that's just part of Eric Andre's deception and overall meta bit.
Yeah, it feels a lot like what people
Dennis
must have felt
Leary
like
do?
watching like Andy Kaufman do stand up in like the 80s when he was purposely being like awkward on stage.
Yes. This
And
is
they
a
were
weird
just like-
dynamic.
Yeah.
Because, in the Eric Andre show, when he's doing the on-the-street segments, those people didn't consent to this, but here an audience has shown up specifically for him to be abused like this. And also, in the Eric Andre show, Eric Andre is a tortured figure, and even any pleasure he takes in life is something to be ridiculed and made a subject of mockery, but here he's sort of like celebratory in his hedonism.
Yeah. Keo, what are your thoughts so far on this bad boy?
Of comedy.
So overall, I'm just gonna have to put this out here. I did not enjoy the stand-up routine.
Oh!
It went on for a long time, and as Eric Andre admitted himself, half of the stand-up was him going.
Well, to be fair, you do love to see it.
I love to see it, but only when he's on the street with somebody who's not expecting it.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah,
palpable about the chaotic energy that is displayed on his show that isn't like able to be brought to the stage.
I would have liked to have a second sketch at least breaking this up a bit.
I was expecting I was expecting something a little more subversive than just a regular stand-up sesh with like him talking to a mom at some point.
Which is kind of funny,
Yeah,
but...
he just kind of goes on and on and on about how he took drugs and how wacky that is.
Yeah. Which is, to be fair, some of these stories are kind of funny, like him ripping Gratz out of the ground at a concert because he missed...
Holographic Tupac.
Yeah, he's really into this stand-up, though. He's like sweating 13 minutes in.
Yeah, his energy is quite palpable. He's
very, very, very animated, and I mean it's a spectacle, but it got very like tiring.
Yeah, I would admit that that's probably the case. It gets tiring at a certain point, maybe, but I think in general I'm pretty glued into what he was doing. It's just that I feel like a lot of the jokes weren't necessarily the best. There's a particular... Let's start with the worst, what our least favorite parts of this were before we get into our favorite bits here. So my least favorite gag here is that he talks about how he was pretty much trying to get sex out of a lady, and then her boyfriend started talking to him.
Kind of reminded me of those screenshots, those texts Viper sent to that 17-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Viper the rapper.
Again, this is another thing where I can't tell what energy he's trying to provide here, but it is not sitting well watching it. Watching him display these text messages from an angry boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I was just kind of like dumbfounded at that part, to be honest.
But then there's like bits that I find very entertaining, like the bit about how it's odd that Cops decided to play reggae music at the beginning of its show.
Yeah, it's the TV show Cops.
Yes.
That is
a good observation.
That is perhaps the best bit in the entire special for me.
Like, the only thing I had, maybe he should need to punch up the physical acting a bit for his delivery, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty keno. The parts about his Jewish mother didn't land.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Yeah, getting his mom to smoke weed wasn't... That seems like it was built up more in his head than it actually was in reality.
This definitely feels like a this definitely feels like a thing where he probably did try this material out a lot, right? But his whole energy gives it the vibe of like, this is just him talking for an hour.
Yeah, I would say probably my least favorite part was when he was talking about how he took too much drugs and he was trying to vomit the drugs out.
Yeah, but I was high for that part, so I kind of enjoyed it.
But then trying to vomit was very pleasurable because he was high on Molly or something.
Molly.
MDMA.
And I was like, okay, this is just kind of like disturbing at this point.
Did you have a favorite or a least favorite bit there, Connie?
Least favorite bit. I mean, I don't know. He brought up Hannibal Buress at one point, and I didn't need that reminder right now.
Yeah.
What was it he said?
You have to admit,
oh,
you have to
yeah.
admit.
That story about the season 1 show where he accidentally made a man flayed him by mistake.
Wait, what?
A story about how he came out, put his penis in an audience member's mouth because he came out to the show nude. I would imagine that would be a horrifying mental image, like you're in the audience and you see him walking at you naked slowly.
And then jumping.
That sounds... Yeah.
Now, Connie, what were your overall thoughts listening to this this hour-long screaming session from Eric Andre?
Oh, wow.
Weed. Keo was asking me something about Hannibal Buress a second ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I would have to admit something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have to admit that if Hannibal Buress was on stage in a chair reacting to everything going on, it would have been funnier.
Yes. If Hannibal was just heckling him like he does on the show.
Yeah, if Hannibal was just like, that joke sucks, man.
I feel like this audience would attack Hannibal.
So the one thing, it's like I don't want to give him credit for anything now that I found out like he's a dirtbag landlord, but you're still right in that it would have been an overall improvement to this set.
Yeah, gotta give it to him under certain circumstances.
Like, you know, like the rent that you gotta give to him.
Yeah,
He also makes a reference to 8chan some point in this set.
I can't believe that we had to take a second to dunk on 8chan in the middle of a Netflix comedy special.
You know,
And it was accurate too.
It was good.
Yeah, it was like pretty prescient, and I was like, oh, okay, he knows what's going on. I'm gonna say my favorite joke was actually when he brought out that like kitchen hang-up thing that had like the funny translation.
Oh yeah, that was
Well, that is like our
good.
favorite thing in the world.
I enjoyed.
I very much appreciated him bringing that into my life. Thank you, Eric Andre. Thank you.
I like the idea that he travels around with it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would probably show it to everybody.
So
Yeah, I wish I had taken notes and copied it down exactly so I could recite it right now, but I can't.
So you asked me what my general thoughts on this whole thing were, and
Yes.
they are this. I don't know what I expected from a stand-up special from the Time to Deliver a Pizza Bowl guy would be like. But it is, in retrospect, it is exactly this.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's for better or for worse. I didn't really like it most of the time. It wasn't that well funny. A lot of these jokes didn't land, but the couple that did were good.
yeah. I feel like it's a little uneven. I feel like perhaps stand-up is not the preferred medium to absorb Eric Andre and his bits. I think his show is probably preferred. If you like Eric Andre, you should just watch his show. The stand-up I think is fun, but I don't know if I could. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to talk about a comedy special in general, I think, and it's hard to critique comedy.
Yeah, I think there's some high highs and low lows. I still think this was entertaining, and I don't regret spending an hour on this.
When you say comedy special, does that mean stand-up every time, or what?
Yeah, I think usually, right? There was that improv comedy special from Thomas Middleditch and Nick Schwartz that I liked. So
Comedy special.
Okay, so I'll be
Ben Schwartz.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I heard this was a comedy special, I just thought it was just he could do whatever he wants for an hour.
That's what I was
There
like
have been
thinking, right?
I think there have been sketch comedy specials before.
Yes.
And I thought it would be like predominantly like a political like making fun of politics and talking about how messed up our system is in a comedic way.
Which is to say, those are some of the best jokes on this. So.
Oh, but he did also have a bit about the Third Amendment, which reminded me of that Twilight Zone episode we watched.
But yeah, like he does go into it a little bit, and I was hoping that would be like the whole thing.
Because some of the best Eric Andre bits are him at like the DNC and the RNC.
Yes, yeah. Hillary was the Terminator all along. Or wait, no, Hillary was Donald Trump.
And I'm disappointed that we probably won't be able to get that this year.
Yeah. Okay, so Kia, what you're saying is this special would have been better if, like, a banner of Mao Zedong just unfurled itself behind Eric Andre when he pulls his pants down at the end of the special. Spoilers. Bleep that out.
Yes,
Swanson.
That would be better.
Yeah, that would be better. But what I'm saying is, I would have liked like an edited Eric Andre style, like Eric Andre show style special.
Yes.
Where.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like Netflix. I don't know. I can't really blame Netflix for this. I'm just basing it off of other comedy specials I've seen on Netflix, which, like a lot of the things that Netflix makes, are like, sort of run of the mill, generic. But I feel like Netflix has a very narrow definition of what comedy specials are, and so when they recruit someone to do a comedy special, they specifically tell them that it should be a stand-up special, and that is what they. Yeah.
So there's actually a.
And also, comedians try to withhold their best material for a while before putting it on record, or television.
I also don't know how much stand-up. I don't know how much stand-up Eric Andre actually does either.
Yes.
Like, if you had told me this was his first... This is his first stand-up special, so if you had told me that it was his first stand-up at all, I would have been like, oh, yeah, I could believe that.
Yeah, that would actually be a very good showing as the first stand-up ever.
I mean, it would be... Yeah, it'd be pretty great.
So, there was actually a program that... I don't know exactly how much Eric Andre was involved in it, but he was on it. Mm-hmm. It was like one of his side characters from his show, Kraft Punk. It was like, I don't remember how long it was. It was either half an hour or an hour long, and it was like the Kraft Punk political hour. And Kraft Punk, like, it was like an interview style show where he brought on like conspiracy people and interviewed them.
Amazing.
And Eric Andre was there for like a little skit on the side, and
Kraft Punk's political party.
Yeah, Kraft Punk's political party. And like that had a lot of potential. I was thinking, man, what if Eric Andre just did that for an hour? That would like blow my mind.
Apparently it's on AdultSwim.com in its entirety. We'll put that in the show links, I guess, and a link to the Wikipedia article for bum fights.
Sure.
But yeah, I love that. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I would have liked to see them refine what they had going there and do it with Eric Andre, but that's not what this was. It was him doing stand-up, and I was a little disappointed, to be honest.
Yeah. So comedy specials are hard to talk about. So I think at the end, let's all just go around here and decide this is a tune-in or a tune-out.
I would recommend watching it if you're stoned.
Only?
Were you?
Yes.
Okay.
And only if you're stoned?
Okay.
Probably. I don't think you'd get as much if you're not going, yeah, do be like that.
Yeah, as someone who's literally never taken any kind of drug outside of like something my doctor gave me, obviously, I don't understand like what it's like to be high. I don't get it. I'm just like, okay.
Get a load of this, Kiora, and what if your doctor gave you weed?
Medical marijuana.
Whoa.
Wow, I could get high from my doctor.
So I'm proud to announce the TV Tuners GoFundMe in order to get Keo a plane ticket to Illinois so I can toke him up.
He's in California. He can get weed whenever he wants.
Oh.
Yeah, I could drive down. I
just want to get high with a friend, okay?
Oh.
I could drive down to Weed House anytime and pick up a big bag of weed and go home with it.
Weed House?
Connie, what?
But yeah, I'm gonna have to give this a tune out.
Connie,
I can't ethically endorse watching non-Quibi shows, so this is a tune out.
Oh, ooh. But what if you weren't working for Quibi? What would your opinion be?
I don't know. I'm thinking I've always hang on a second. Hang on. Someone's at my door. I'll be right back.
I've been working for Quibi.
Someone's at my door.
The universe was created 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, guys, I've been wearing these glasses, and they're really great.
You?
What?
You're supposed to be dead. This can't be...
Alright, what's
You can't do this to Quibi.
Oh my god, Connie's life signals are dropping rapidly.
Oh.
Wait, let me do a mind link with them. Are you okay, Connie? Connie!
Oh, no, you did the mind
who's
link.
there?
I can feel
Who is this? Is this the pod?
Yeah, this is the pod.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been talking to an evil. You've been talking about evil clone this whole time. You gotta take. Did you get Google glasses?
Yes.
You gotta take those off right now.
I can't. They're part of my face
Take
now.
them off.
That explains.
It's
That
comfortable,
explains why
though.
when I put my glasses on, I saw sort of like skeleton figures of Stairmaster and Kyo when I put them on.
Yes. And all the billboards
don't-
said different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't eat any sunflower seeds, especially. If you do, you need to induce vomiting.
shit.
I
Yes.
know the glasses seem fused to your face. It's gonna be painful. Get them off. I can't. Quibi is so bad. You have to stop. Oh, shit, my clone's getting back up. My clone's getting back up.
Connie, wait, do I cancel the demon sacrifice?
Don't click. Ah!
Here, Stair, take a. I'm gonna use my Quibi powers here, or use your Quibi powers here to take this these sunglasses from me. This should help.
Boop. I'm going to use my Quibi powers to drop this canister over evil Connie's head. Boop.
Wow, the power of Quibi saved us, but also almost
Quibi.
doomed us. Huh. Very confusing message for Quibi at the end here.
Alright, so who won the conflict between Connie and Connie Clone?
The clone's destroyed.
Stair has my glasses. I
Destroyed?
can't tell.
You gotta get the glasses off.
I could
Quibi
feel
is-
everything the clone felt when you murdered him, Connie.
Well, unfortunately, guys, the glasses are telling me that the demon sacrifice has to continue.
Don't listen to. You gotta, Kyo. You
can't.
gotta stop it.
We haven't heard if
I'm
Swanson
gonna
tuned in or not.
I'm gonna become a. Oh yeah, Swanson, do you tune in?
I'm gonna give this a regretful tune out. I wanted more, but there wasn't anything
So,
here.
I'm the only one tuning in this week, huh? To
Yeah,
our favorite
so-
person alive.
So that's
Eric
a tune out on Eric Andre, Legalize Everything.
I don't think it's that bad, fellas.
It's not that. It's not bad. It's just run of the mill.
I can't recommend it.
Okay, what?
Like I would never put this on for somebody and say that they're going to enjoy it.
Okay,
Yeah, just
that's
keep
fair.
talking, Kyo. I'm gonna give me those glasses. Just keep talking. Just keep talking. Share your thoughts, bud.
Yeah, I would never put this on for somebody and recommend it. I just can't say that this is good. It has a few.
Ooh! Oh shit!
Did you get him?
Oh, well. Let me take him off. Make sure he's not dead. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Unfortunate.
Well, it's very sad, but it had to happen.
I guess it meant a large demon sacrifice in the name of Quibi or my friend Kyoran dying. I guess Kyoran dying was the best option. Well, anyway, that's a tune out on Eric Andre. We'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep. Bye. It's over.
It is not Quibi time.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Day. Did you know that Stairmaster is in fact Mr. Netflix?
That's right.